out real other projects. We hopefully won't have to aggravate the residents any more than they've already been aggravated with those types of things. So I think kudos to the council. It's good that the economy seems to be performing better, and also that we've been able to put those funds away for these future improvements. I think we're one of the better municipalities in terms of maintaining our infrastructure, and every year we've had commitments to doing that, and the council's been doing a great job at that. The other thing that helps is with the good investment performance from the police pension fund, it looks like our contributions to that are slowing down a little bit. Now, nobody knows really, I'll talk about the police pension fund in a minute, knows where those numbers are going to go, but at least in the last 12 months, it's been definitely a period of outperformance, which allows us to fund it normally without any big increases in the amounts that we've been funding. We have been funding it at 100% of what the actuary determines every year since I've been here since 2007, which thank you again for the council going along with that instead of kicking the can down the road. So we've been funding that adequately too. So I think you've been doing a great job at that. So any more questions? Yes, Tom.
And we also use some of the funds for economic development too when those opportunities come around as well. So
Exactly. Although not all of it. I mean, the Home Depot and the Walmart were an outlay to keep those in Darien for a long period of time. The other economic development that was done for Carriage Greens, and that wasn't done as an outright grant. They are actually paying us back those amounts. Actually, we're receiving monthly amounts from them now. We'll do a true up every January. We're going to do a true up on that, and every year they will reduce the amount that we advance them basically in the form of an interest-free loan. They'll be reducing that amount to us, and we have a lien on the property, and that's anticipated to be paid back within 10 years. Actually, I'll be surprised if it's not paid back a little more quickly because the numbers seem to be running real good right now.
but it's good to have those funds for any future opportunities that come to council as well. So
Okay, then I'll talk about the pension funds. Anybody have any more questions in terms of the 6-month P&Ls? Okay, as I mentioned, we had our police pension fund, our quarterly meeting to evaluate the performance of the police pension fund. That was held on November 4th. And as I had anticipated when we talked about that meeting, the third quarter, which is July, August, and September, as you may recall, the stock market really underperformed quite a bit. And I was hoping maybe it would be a break-even quarter. It was close, but for the quarter, it was an underperformance. By the fund lost 0.7%. So overall, it's not too bad. Equities were down 1% for the quarter. Fixed income was completely flat at 0. But I got the numbers for October. October was a particularly strong month, and October was a positive performance by 3% on a combined basis. I don't have the breakdown between equities and fixed income, but essentially fixed income is essentially bringing us 0 at this point. So we've had a good performance in October, so hopefully that can last through the next quarter, and hopefully we could equal or exceed our 7% bogey that we have for the year. To give you an idea, though, just to put it in perspective, if you look at the 5-year return of the pension fund, overall it's had about a 9.5% return over the average for the last 5 years, with equities being about 14.3% of that, fixed income about 2.8%. So you see the difference between the equities and the fixed income. So if we're going to hit our 7% bogey, obviously we have to be heavier in equities. One thing that can help that, as I mentioned at the last meeting, the police pension fund is being consolidated with all other, quote, downstate police pension funds. Downstate meaning every pension fund in the state of Illinois other than Chicago. So our funds are going to be consolidated in one big pool, and that's required to happen by next June 30th. Fire department, their funds are being consolidated in a pool likewise, and actually they've started the transfer already. It's anticipated that theirs will be done by probably January, February, the latest, but our police pension fund would be consolidated by June 30th. Benefits to that are we'll have a lot more assets. Our assets will be combined with everybody else's, so the investment advisors will assumably be able to go out and get better deals, reduced expenses on the investments being purchased, as well as maybe be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more varied in terms of the investments that are allowed. Because right now in the individual funds are much more restricted in terms of what you can invest in. Any questions? Yeah, Tom?
Is our goal rate done on a calendar basis, or is that a fiscal year basis?
The 7% you're talking
Yes.
about, it's on, 7% is on our fiscal year, April 30th, which when we got the actuarial report, if you recall, we had about a 25% performance last year for our fiscal year ended April 30th. Unfortunately, when the investment advisors give us these things, they do them on a calendar year basis. So I'm sort of bastardizing it by mixing the two of them and trying to get a little bit of a feel for where it stands. And it's,
So is our fiscal year to date doing, or do you know the numbers through September then?
I do not know, because the fiscal year to date would include April 30th was included in the second quarter. And the
Right.
second quarter for this year was a 5.2% performance. And April, I know, was a good month. Actually, every month until September, the 5 consecutive months were up. So part of that 5.2% was April, so it might have been 1 or 2%. So if you were to take that out of it and say that we got 4% and the lost 7%, I would say for the last 6 months, we're probably at about 3.5% to 4.5%, somewhere in that range, just taking a wild ass guess at it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks, Mike.
Cool. All right, next on the agenda, we have the standing committee reports. Do any of our chairs have anything to report tonight? Yes, Mr. Thomas Belzlak.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Municipal Services will have their next meeting a week from today, Monday, the 22nd, in council chambers.
Thank you, Thomas. Yes, Mary.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Administrative Finance Committee will meet prior to City Council meeting on Monday, December 6th at 6 p.m. in the conference room upstairs. And the next Economic Development Committee meeting will be held on Thursday, December 2nd at 7 p.m. in council chambers.
Thank you, Mary. Yes, Mr. Kenny.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This evening, the Police Committee meeting was canceled due to lack of agenda items. Our next scheduled meeting is slated for Monday, December 20th at 6 p.m., right before the City Council meeting across the street in the police training room.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny. Okay. Next, we have questions and comments for anyone in the audience regarding the council's agenda. Okay. We do not have any old business, and we do not have any consent agenda, so we will move to new business. First on new business, we have consideration of a motion to approve an ordinance levying taxes for general and special corporate purposes for the fiscal year commencing on the first day of May 2021 and ending on the 13th day of April 2022 for the city of Darien, Illinois. Do I have a motion? Motion by Sullivan. Do I have a second? Second by Kenny. Any questions or comments? Okay, can I have a roll, please?
Sullivan,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
Shower,
Aye.
Belzak,
Aye.
Gustafson,
Aye.
Clistic,
Aye.
6 ayes and 1 absent.
You got one.
Buster's here
alderman
now.
sitting
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you come in.
Walk in.
I'll abstain.
Vaughn,
Abstain.
This item has been approved. Next item is B, consideration of a motion to approve an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning on the first day of May 2021 and ending on the 13th day of April 2022 in and for the city of Darien Special Service Area Number 1 known as Terra Hill. Do I have a motion? Motion by Shower. Do I have a second? Second by Belzak. Any questions or comments? Can I have roll, please?
Shower,
Aye.
Belzak,
Aye.
Gustafson,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Sullivan,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
Clistic,
Aye.
7 ayes.
So moved. And on the last thing, any questions, comments, or announcements from our audience on the general new business? Nope. All right. Can I please have a motion to adjourn?
Can I just have a couple quick questions?
Oh, yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'm getting questions regarding the tree lighting, and I think there was thing that people are just going to have to drive through. Is that what your understanding is?
Yeah.
And it's outside, so people are real confused here why we can't have the traditional tree lighting ceremony.
Well, the tree will be lit in a traditional sense. We'll be out on the porch of the Historical Society. We'll do the countdown, and we'll light the tree.
Outside, people getting physically out of their.
That people could be outside of their car and
Oh.
the historical. Last year, we did it the same way, and we had very few people in front of the
Right.
building when we lit the tree. Then what we did is we run them out to the back. People enter into the parking lot by the Safety Village. They
Mhm.
drove in front of Lace School. We had Santa Claus. We gave them goodie bags, and they drove out onto 75th Street. And the Historical Society has chosen to do that again this year, again due to COVID. The basement area of the Historical Society is very small. When they traditionally had it down there, they had a lot of people in a small space. And to avoid any more spreading or transmission, they decided this year to have it outside again as well. And there was an advertisement or a poster that we posted in today's Darien Direct Connect,
Yeah.
which explained that. Well, it didn't explain the goodie bags and everything, but that's the reason why they're having it the way they have it.
Okay. And the other question was, are they going to have the trolley tours of the holiday lights this year?
No,
No?
no, I canceled the trolley tour again. It's a school bus. If you've ever been on it, it's.
Yeah, I did it 2 years ago.
School bus, and again, for the sake of people's health and to be a little proactive, I made the decision not to run the trolleys this year.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people are disappointed with that.
Well, I think I'd rather err on the side of caution, Alderman Gustafson, because I still think that there's transmission going on with regard to COVID. And if you've been on one of those school buses, they're
Yep.
very crowded. There's moisture building up on the windows to the point where people have to take paper towels and wipe the windows down to even see any of the houses that have been decorated. So we'll do all we can this year to let people know where those houses are. But again, that was my choice.
Okay.
I think even prior to COVID, I think we saw the interest in that kind of decline. We used to do like 6 trips, I think, and we were down to 1. We just didn't have a lot
I
of
did it
interest.
2 years ago as a tour guide. It was packed, the buses I was on. I mean,
Yeah, but we
people
used to
loved it.
run probably 6 buses. What I'm saying is now we only had enough, which is we reduced that ride a couple of years back down to probably actually 1 trolley, maybe a second time slot. But and we will post the winners, and like in the past couple of years, people will be able to drive through and see all the homes.
Yeah, we'll have the announcement made at one of our city council meetings. They'll
Okay.
actually come forward and they'll show us pictures, they'll show us the winners. So that will happen. And we'll get the information out to people, as Mr. McKenna said, to make sure that everybody knows where those homes are. Mary?
I think last year even, they, obviously it was published and all the addresses were listed and pictures of the homes were listed. But I also think, wasn't there, like, I don't want to call them goodie bags, but I'm going to say that terminology, at City Hall that people could come by and pick up, or I thought there was something that was given out too, that, because, things had been pre-purchased for the trolley.
When we had the trolley, Lisa Clem would be in the police training lobby, or the police lobby, and we would have goodie bags, and I think we even had hot chocolate at one time that we used to give out. But when we stopped going with the trolley, I mean, last year we did not have a trolley. Last year we didn't have a
Right.
holiday decorating
Yeah.
contest. So there will be no hot chocolate.
Okay.
There'll be no goodie bags.
So maybe even this year, when you go to announce the winners and list the addresses, maybe even like a visual, like a map showing where all the houses are, so that, like, almost like make a path for people that the trolley would have done. I think it just might, make it, maybe they can, I don't want to say come up with a game, but just like make something fun, like, for families to do.
Yeah, I talked to Diane Novarini about that. I said it would be nice if we could somehow put out a map or something that'll show people where the winners'
Mm-hmm.
homes are at.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll work to do something
Map and
like
goodie
that.
bag.
Any more questions or comments? Before we adjourn, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for making my day very special. I had a lot of fun. Thank you both to the police department and Public Works. I do hope you get your building one day. I'm not in the power to ordain, give that to you guys yet, but just wanted to say thank you for everything today. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I learned a lot about Darien that I never knew before. So thank you for allowing me to be your mayor for the day. I appreciate it. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Sullivan. Do I have a second? Second by Vaughn. Vaughn, right? And then so moved.
Good job.
Thank you.
Bravo.
All right.